pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
County Land Bank Board meeting, January 12:15 p.m. First thing on the agenda is administrative business. Item number 1, reorganization of the board. Anybody interested in being the chairman for the next year? Everybody speak at once.
Nominate Kent to stay on as chairman for the land bank.
Any other nominations?
I nominate Mike Beneke as the chair of the land bank.
Make a motion to cease nominations.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got 2 to vote on.
All in favor of Kent? All in favor of Mike?
Aye.
Kent said he wanted to pass it off, but nobody was jumping through hoops to get it, so.
There you go, Mike. It's
Okay,
all yours.
so what was the vote? You voted
4 for Mike and 1 for Kent. And Mike voted for Kent.
okay.
You get your computer out. You take over now.
Okay. Do you want me to give him a copy of that?
All right.
Yeah. Actually, you can just have this.
As of
You can have that.
I'll help you out there, Mike. Oh, you got it.
He needs to have his computer going so he can see how to follow it.
Yeah, he's got the, I've got the outline there for him. So the first thing that I have are the minutes from October 6th.
Make a motion to approve the October 6th meeting.
Second.
As approved. Any other discussion? Vote.
Aye.
I
Sounds unanimous. 5 vote aye.
Okay. And let me see.
Next on item is review or amend or approve the draft budget. Is that what it says?
The next thing would be the review the financial report. And I'm gonna have you sign this, these minutes, Mike, first. So in your packet, you would have had a financial report that looks like this. And it just basically shows,
no, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not, Mike. It's only $15,539.
yeah, we had one expenditure, which was for the survey for the Poor Farm Cemetery parcel, and that split, and that was for $1,700. The ending balance in the land bank fund is $15,539 at the end of the year.
So we approve the
The financial report.
motion to approve the financials at $15,539 ending balance.
Second.
Any more discussion? Vote yes.
Aye.
Okay,
Motion carried 5-0.
thank you. So I did create a draft budget for, based on the amount of money that we have, and, this is always just a guess because we don't really know, and we haven't sold any property to date, so,
We should have receipts this year.
yeah. And so what I put in the last year's budget and the current year budget, I didn't change the receipts. I'm sure we will have probably potentially more than what's there, but I did put in publications, demolition, contractual, and supplies, just to get us down to a total expenditure of all resources. And we can make changes to this draft. This has to be actually approved by the Board of Commissioners also in the regular meeting.
So we make a motion to approve the draft budget. Do we have a second?
Second.
second by Ken. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I guess is what I need to say.
Okay. We do have just two properties in the land bank. So the property inventory, we have that one 6-foot strip out at the county lake right now, and then we have the acreage out by the Poor Farm Cemetery. The split is pending on that with the appraiser's office. So that property inventory will be published before January 31st, and in accordance with the state statute. Do we have, so the next thing would be basically if there are any new requests for the land bank, that's the next thing on the list.
Any new requests for the land bank at this point? I guess if we can discuss anything, there is a property that I will bring up at some point that I think County has tried to purchase multiple times over the multiple years. Possibly will be coming up for that potential to obtain that property in the near future, some way, somehow, we hope.
I think we need to auction it.
But nothing on today's, nothing for today's meeting, right? Okay.
If that contract negotiation comes up, I would suggest that we leave it to the Board of Commissioners for an executive session to deal with, so we don't undercut.
Right, the land bank board wouldn't have any kind of purview in something like that until the commission. If it's a property that the county is looking at, that'd be the
If it
commission.
would be acquired.
Land bank just accepts donations.
Well, we can accept donations, we can also purchase if we want to, but that would take a, there are only specific uses that we can purchase for, so. Okay, the next thing on there is the discussion of the marketing of Wilson Township property, which is the acreage that is being split off from the Poor Farm Cemetery.
Anybody got comments on how we want to handle that at this point?
It needs to be auctioned.
We have the, we do have to publish 30 days before any sale regarding of how we sell that property. So we can sell it by sealed bid, we can auction it, we can put it up just on the open market. There are a lot of options of how we would do it, but we do have to publish that.
To take for a publish, just notification that we're intending to sell it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to say how it's gonna be sold or anything.
Well, I mean, if you know how it's gonna be sold, it would make the most sense to include that information in the publication so people know how to submit a bid or to go about purchasing.
I think with the combination live and online auctions that we have now, that's the proper way to do it.
I guess my concern is the value of that property versus the commission will have to pay to get somebody to auction that off. I mean, you gotta weigh that into any decision. You know, I don't know that there's any auctioneers that would auction it off for free, but
Can our sheriff's department just hold?
I was wondering, could we do a sheriff's sale on it, let the sheriff auction it off?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, you could ask him to auction it, but it's not, because it's in the land bank, it's not, it doesn't fall under sheriff's sale.
Just do sealed bids.
So we could do a publication, we could advertise it online, and we could send letters to nearby property owners or adjoining property owners, which I think I need to double check that might be a requirement anyway. And then and just go from there unless you want to do an official auction. So
It makes
I guess-
more- if we have to notify, it probably makes more sense just to do a sealed bid.
I mean, we could, I don't mind, checking in, see what, see what it would cost to auction it off. I mean, cause I know they don't do that for free. Whereas sealed bids,
Sometimes don't get our maximum value.
don't get our maximum value, but it's something we just,
I think when Kent said the live and online, should probably bring the most real value of the property.
Just based on past history. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's a parcel that's gonna have some interest. No doubt about that.
I have to make an emotion on how we handle it.
What's a auctioneer usually go for? I mean, it's usually what, 5%?
You do it up to 5 to 10,
5 to
depending.
10%,
But this isn't worth very much, so it might be more.
exactly.
He's gonna charge more percent.
I mean, cause if you look at the Dollar Tree stores that auctioned off, there was a $20,000 minimum buyer's premium. And if it exceeded a certain value, then that became a percentage, but so.
Might be something that our administrator could check with a couple of firms to see what they charge.
No, we can always stipulate in the auction that the buyer's premium is on top of the bid price. And that is an option, but then your bidders know that going in, and either way,
Only 6 of one, half dozen.
six of one, half dozen the
How
other.
much land we talking about?
10 acres.
More or less.
It's 9.
9.69 acres.
Yeah, but if you sell it, it's 10 acres.
$15,000 or $20,000.
We're gonna bring more than
I'll
that.
bring 50.
It's possible. Count on it, but it's possible.
Gathering
Small
all
enough that it
this,
doesn't take much to maintain, so it's a build. I don't know if it's a building site, or I would call it a building site, but
Yes, it could be.
it'd have to be in the right place, I think.
Got a bomb shelter on it. So.
Yeah.
dynamite shack.
I guess in the to save time, it's 12:28. I would ask that we move this discussion to a later commission meeting and make the decision in the commission meeting of how we want to proceed with the sale. I mean, we can agree as a land bank to sell it. Can we agree as a commission? So we don't have to wait till April to,
You could also give it some thought and call a special land bank meeting.
and we can,
I could call a special land bank meeting.
And then another direction would have Tina check to see
see what
if
our
there's a
options.
couple in county
If,
auction services, what they charge, give us that preliminary number or percentage. That satisfies that at this point.
That good enough as a directive?
Yep. There you go.
that way we can move forward with it without,
Hopefully get that taken care of and before we do this.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We haven't passed the dates, meeting dates.
You did that last year in your resolution at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the resolution.
Motion and second to adjourn.
Who made the second?
Dave,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Marion County Commission meeting, Monday, January 5th, 2026, 12:30 p.m. Start off with the public forum. Does anybody in the public like to speak? Anybody online that'd like to speak? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Move on to the agenda approval. Is there anything to add to the agenda?
It's my understanding Brad won't be present,
So do we need
so that
to
would be something to take off.
take that step? Remove that from the agenda?
So I'm gonna move forward with the agenda as approved, minus the 145. Administrative business, Ashley.
Okay. Oh, we have the minutes of December 31st.
Everybody got a chance to review the minutes? Is there any corrections? No seizures today? I didn't catch anything, so I'll make a motion to approve December 31st, 2025 minutes.
Seconded.
Motion in a second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. 5-0.
All right, we have change orders. It's all the same. And that's all I have.
Okay, on the table, you have my administrative report. I also emailed it out earlier this morning, so you've got it electronically. Just curious if that's something that, I need to be reporting on, more specifically during the meeting, or if it's just submitting the written report in the packet is. I just would like to know your preference, because I don't mind going through it during the meeting if that's helpful.
I've always been okay with it, but maybe next week somebody makes a different decision. So.
If we have questions,
What's that?
if we have questions on it,
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it is for me. If I get it in advance and then I have any questions, I can ask questions.
like emergency management, are we resurrection, where the tower,
I'm sorry, say that again?
the weather tower, are we getting that back in shape again?
Well, no, that's not the communications tower. There's a grant in process to try to get a weather tower in the county.
Okay,
So this is different than that portable tower.
Anybody else okay with it? All right, I'm gonna move on.
Okay. In the past, before we went to the whiteboards in here, I used to every week give you a tracking list. When I was the clerk, where it would talk about things that were kind of in progress, things that were upcoming, things that are for future, and then kind of just keeping track of where we are with things. And so after some of the most recent discussions that I've been hearing, I thought maybe it would be helpful to have that again, just to kind of, help keep track of, because there's a lot of moving pieces typically for the board. So I just prepared a basic one based on some of the comments that you made at that meeting where I was out. It's in your packet right after the administrative business list. So I just thought that might be helpful. And then as things come up, we can add them on, or if I miss something, we can add it, so. Does that seem like a good plan for you all?
Yeah.
Okay,
We need to have something. We're not doing the whiteboards. We
right,
need to have something.
okay. And I guess let me know if there's something that is missed or that you want to add. And generally what I try to do is when things come up during commission, I'll try to make a note of those and add them on, so, okay? All right. Next week is the reorganizational meeting, so you'll vote for your new chairman and vice chairman for the 2026 year. And then, so I guess in the past, we've done it in different ways, so I just wanted to see kind of what your preference is on that.
It's only happened one time since I've been here. But we also need a vice chair or what is appropriate. One meeting we've had, I think when Randy was still here, where the chairman and the vice chairman were both gone.
Okay.
And we had to have a little discussion on who was gonna lead that. And it just, in the event that ever happens, I'd like to iron that one out too.
So,
Vice.
Two vices.
But, yeah. Vice.
Vice and a co-vice.
Yeah, whatever. The third.
so I didn't know if you want to just, in the past, generally what we've done is just during that meeting, there have been motions made and just in open, and that's how it's been. There's also the option, if anybody wants to do nominations or ask to put like nominations onto a ballot, we could do a ballot if you want to do that. So if you had nominations today, then I could create something and you could have a ballot to utilize next week. So it's up to you all how you want to handle that.
I'll ask, is there any self-nominations?
I'd like to be chairman.
Two.
All right, there's two. Now, how we go about it? We do a ranked choice ballot? Do we do just a?
What I would do is probably just do rounds of if you can do it just as a motion and a vote or if you wanted to do a ballot, probably just do as many rounds as it takes to have someone elected. So.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't know how anybody wants to, preference?
Ballot.
A ballot? Mike wants a ballot?
Okay with
I'll do a ballot.
okay.
Can't do a ballot? Okay.
Then about the vice chair, did you want to do the same thing on that? Or do you want to wait and do the chairman and then figure out how you want to handle nominations for the vice chair or the co-vice?
I would let's get the chair ironed out and then we can take nominations for
I agree
the
with that.
subsequent positions.
I'd agree with that.
Nobody's gonna, these two aren't gonna throw their name in the hat for vice chair just yet, so.
Okay. All right, so would be a ballot with just those names on it? Or are you planning to accept any other nominations on the day?
I think it's pretty well settled. There's two guys willing to take it.
Sound like privilege, huh?
So do we need to nominate I make a motion to cease nominations.
I'll second that.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to ask next week.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's how we'll do it. Then I have, the final thing that I had for you all was I was asked to draft an RFP for county council, and I do have that in your packet, for your review. And I know that, well, I guess I'll just say that.
Do you have a list on who you would send this to?
No, not at this point. And then also, I'd have to know timing of this. If I left those blanks, and I would appreciate feedback on it. If there's something that the board feels it's missing, or that if it's.
I can't seem to find it.
What's the
Is
thing?
it before Josh's stuff?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's,
it's right before Josh's.
it's down below the, change orders.
So I can put it back on for next week if you would like, or.
Do we need to make any stipulation whether they live within the county or serve, have an office within the county?
No,
You're not gonna find anybody within.
No,
Well, yeah,
I would highly recommend you don't do that.
To make
That eliminates everybody.
Although I would love for that. I just don't think it's doable.
We only have one office in the county at this point, don't we?
Yeah,
Do we?
you're in Marion.
There being,
Oh,
all I know, unless there's somebody down at Peabody.
well, if you don't have a list, then I would ask that the commission come up with some candidates that you would like to have it sent to. RFP. Not now, just please relay those on to Tina.
We used to have a board for Association for Attorneys, but I don't think it
It's,
operates anymore.
well, the last time that we did an RFP, I was able to get a list. We did have to pay for it, and it was very difficult to get that list. But I did finally get it, so I'll just I can go back and look and see, what that looks like, or who we sent to last time too. So if I can find all that, that's been a minute. But also having you all provide information would be good.
The urgency though, after payday,
60 days.
payday meeting, that was pretty eye-opening thing right there. I feel like it's a bit urgent. Sure we have it.
Well, I mean, I think we can, this wasn't brought up last week, but we have options. I mean, we have a county attorney that we can talk with and utilize in complying with that statute. So I think we have options that we don't have to fill this position before the end of the month.
Okay.
But we still need, but I don't wanna,
We solicit
I don't wanna
for
table it, but I don't
interim
wanna-
until we get somebody, get this figured out.
but I don't wanna rush it and
Right.
do something that we do wrong, so.
Is there any chance you could talk with Michelle, just in those events that?
Sure. And I will, and in fact, I'm supposed to meet with her next Monday, so I'll chat with her about it then, or before. But we also still do have a county counselor at this point, so we can, I don't know if there's a remote option or how that would work. So we'll move forward one of those ways.
Yeah.
But I'll be meeting with her before I meet with you next, so.
No,
We'll
bring this
So
back.
if we have comments on this RFP, can we just put those together and send them back to you.
And then I'll just bring them back to the board for next week.
Okay.
Everybody agreeable to that? All right,
Okay,
let's move on.
and that was all I had.
Okay. Planning and zoning.
So Sharon may be online. Okay, so this was a request to put, by Commissioner Dirks to put on just an update on a record request for improvement district number 2. And I do have that update, but I went ahead and scheduled Sharon on in case there were additional questions, but. So Sharon, do you want to speak to where you are with that request?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the request that was sent to me was broad. We did provide the information that was requested for specific addresses and anything that we could pick out that was for a specific property. And I've also requested that the improvement district narrow their request or give us, the addresses of what properties they're requesting information on. Or I've also given them the option to come in and look through the parcel files for the Lake Lot district. I have not heard back from the improvement district on what they would like to do yet. I think there was the request was on December 6th. Give me just a minute. Let me see if I can pull this up. I did give them an initial response, and then there was also another response. Sorry, give me just a second here. A response on the 11th, I believe. The 16th, and then the 18th. And then again, I asked today and have not heard back.
I think they've been working back and forth as far as getting the records, so.
The reason I brought this up, Sharon, is, again, I fall back on my 27 years of government experience. If I got a request from another government agency that was also forwarded to my supervisors, I would have made sure that my response to that government agency was also forwarded to my supervisors. Greg sent this to you, and he sent it to 4 of the commissioners on this board on December 11th. Then on December 15th, he actually came before this board and made that same request to the board. And so my concern was, that's almost 3 weeks ago, and we haven't heard anything about a response to this until I brought it up on Friday. And so I guess
Okay.
my concern is, again, it's not like a private citizen. This is a local government entity that has requested this, and he actually requested it of everybody on this board. And I'm just asking for a little bit better communication when we're all in the loop. We need to stay in the loop.
Okay, sure, that's understandable. I always copy Tina on those requests because she is our county PIO, and she's also the county administrator. So in order to not violate any type of like open meeting acts, I generally don't respond back to your full board whenever there are additional email addresses on the request. So I funnel those through Tina to your board.
And on a record request, I wasn't aware that the board would be interested in, I mean, I knew where we were with it, but I didn't know that you all, in the past, you haven't gotten involved in those, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you weren't here when he came before the board. You were sick that day.
I watched the meeting,
Um,
so I think that's just a logistical thing, so I can try to report back on those if you want that.
But, I mean, Sharon, in her response to you, I mean, she obviously saw that it went to all of us.
Sure.
Because it's not blind copied, it's to all of us. And I guess I would just like to see when, especially with other government agencies or other government entities within the county, when they make a request and they address it to us, that we be kept in the loop.
Okay, that would be on me then. Because Sharon's right about not responding to the full board just because of open meetings. We want to be careful about people replying all to those kind of threads, so.
One other thing while you're online, Sharon, on December 1st, we approved my nomination for the vacated seat in District 3 on the Planning and Zoning Board. And that person has not been notified yet.
Okay, when do you plan to do that?
I felt that was given back to planning and zoning to, I mean.
Your board appoints them, so generally your board would be the one to talk with them to let them know whether that was approved or not. And then once they've been approved, that information typically trickles down to me, and then we'll try to make contact with them.
So is that something you want the county clerk or the county administrator to send out?
I thought we gave those applications to you to be processed after that meeting.
They did go, yes, they did, but the notification to the member itself from the board's action, how do you want those to be handled? Do you want the administrator or the clerk to send that letter on your behalf?
We've normally just done it ourselves.
Yeah, but I think you just contact them and let them know, but a more official process is probably a good idea, so.
And I actually notified Brandy and Evan after the meeting. And so if you're saying that's official notification, then they were both notified the day after that, both notified on December 1st. I guess my question is, when does she start? I know we've got a meeting scheduled in January. So how does, what's the process to get her on your mailing list to be informed of what's coming up with planning and zoning is my question.
Does planning and zoning have board that has to approve nomination, or just the commissioners?
No, it's just.
No, the commission appoints.
And
I'm trying to think.
I'm not gonna answer that, but what I do wanna suggest is that you do decide a more formal process for notification. That way everybody's on the same page, we can route it and then trigger that communication. So in the past, I think it has been pretty informal. And so Sharon, when do you typically reach out for?
In January, when you nominated Dave Mueller to the board, did you inform him that he was?
I talked to him that morning and he said he would serve. And let him know.
But after the meeting, did
Yes,
you
just-
call and say it was?
Correct. That's the only notification I think we gave.
Yeah, that's kind of how we've been doing it, so.
A lot of times the planning commission or the newly appointed member will come or will reach out to our office and, request some information. Or if I've received word that the commissioner has followed up with that person and let them know that they did receive the nomination and the appointment, then we'll go ahead and talk with them and let them know when the next meeting is and try to get them a regulations binder and get them added to my email list for those meetings.
So is that in process now, Sharon?
Yes, actually, I'm working on that today. I have an email that will go out to the board, and then I'll send one to that nominee. I'll have to look back and was it Brandy?
Brandy Smith.
Okay, all right, I'll see if,
Do you have that application?
Yeah, and I believe I forwarded them on. So.
yes, and I believe there's an email address on there and maybe a phone number that I can contact her.
So,
My nomination to Dave, he had been on the planning commission in the past, so there was nothing new for him to know.
I do think that there should be a more formal,
Yeah.
drafted by the administrator. And I don't care if it's just signed by the chairman or by the whole board. I really have no preference on that, but I think a formal
Procedure.
welcome, hey, please reach out to this person,
Congratulations.
start, congratulations.
Yeah.
Just the chairman's signature would be adequate.
I think if we even just come up with the letter that I can bring back and show you and you approve it, then, either Ashley or I could do that. You don't have to sign it as a.
And then as far as, just the motion and a vote that to nominate and appoint should be enough to send
Yeah.
that letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that would be great to have a more formal process, because it's been a little bit,
We need a motion to that?
I don't think so. I think directive is enough and I can get that ready.
Anybody got any opposition to that?
Okay. And
Yeah, I
obviously-
think that's a good idea too, because sometimes I don't, like if I'm not at the meeting and I don't know that someone has been appointed, then I'm kind of out of the loop, so I may not be aware.
And then we can also have that on that, who gets copies of everything too, and how it's routed, so that and what date we did it, so I think that's just gonna be a helpful thing.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on this topic? All right. Move on.
So at the meeting that I was gone, there was, the commission expressed a desire to have department heads report quarterly. And so I've got everyone scheduled, and so this is your first quarterly report from a department. They're scheduled once a quarter, not always on the same day,
Very good.
so.
There's a lot of marks all over the county. That's one thing I did pick up.
Wherever they hit the sprayer hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did have a bunch of maps in your packet for the
That's all.
spraying.
Great.
Yep,
But, some of us know what these chemicals are for. But maybe just a
Most-
more clarification on what you took care of for the
Most-
general public.
Lot of them on that first page that you see up there, are targets. This one was filled bindweed. We do filled bindweed, musk thistle. I don't spray musk thistle much. We just go in, I pluck the heads or I dig the whole plant up. I seem to have better luck doing it that way. But Johnson grass and Sericea lespedeza are our four main ones that we have in this county that I spray for and deal with. Try to work with the landowners on that. I know the state's looking to add 5 more noxious weeds to the list. We thought they were gonna come in at the first of the year, but I have not heard anything on that one yet. So,
Which,
Huh?
do you know what they are?
common cut leaf teasel, we do have that in our county. There's a few spots on the western part of the county. Most of it's further west in the state. Some around Harvey County is quite a bit along the highways. Oh shoot, those are the two that I know we have in the county, and the other ones I can't think. Japanese honeysuckle, I think is one of them, which isn't. There's nothing in this county for that. Riley County, Shawnee County are the main ones that have it. The other two I'm drawing a blank. I know there's 4 or 5 total they're putting on there. Those
What about the Phragmites?
Phragmites isn't on their list of anything.
That just blows me away because western Kansas is getting covered up with it.
Mhm.
Now I've found about a half a dozen spots in Marion County where it's, and in fact, it's getting bad already out on core land.
Mhm.
And it'll take over everything.
It's
It's like,
a lot of wetland
it's like
area.
bamboo on steroids.
Yeah. But that's all the ones I could think of right now for what they're wanting to put on. But like I said, hopefully I'll know more at the end of February, beginning of March for sure when we have our conference. State will be there to discuss all that, so. Any other questions on that?
So if we ever got a request to spray some of that and it's not, would the county do it?
If I have time, if I'm busy trying to get everything else, it's one of mine I just push off unless we get caught up or I try to.
Because a lot of times you see it near the road. Not always, because it likes to follow waterways.
Yeah, the waterways is standing waters where it's a lot of times, and I gotta be careful there because
Yeah, I
I
understand
need
that
to,
part of it.
need to start looking for, that's what I'm gonna look for this, spring is more, aquatic, chemicals. So I can try doing a little more, spraying closer to the bridges, around the bridges and doing some more.
Is there any way we can notify Core of that issue that's out there? Just by sending a letter or anything?
If it's not an actual weed on the noxious weed list, I don't think that we really have authority to.
Core,
The trouble is, by the time
Core's
they
another-
will, it'll be too late.
Core's another world. I'll leave it at that. I try to work with them and stuff. They have their own things, but I try to work with them.
I mean, there's nothing saying the commission couldn't send them a letter
Yeah,
and
it
say
might
that
be
there's a
better- It might
concern.
be better for correspondence to come from out of the commission.
Is, are Russian olives or the Bartlett pears, have they been put on the state noxious weed list yet, or?
I know they have not. So they did add those. Okay, spotted knapweed and diffused knapweed are the other two. Thank you. So,
That's not that big of an issue around here, I don't.
no. Teasel is the only one.
I wouldn't know what it is when I saw it probably.
So Teasel's the only one that I'm looking at in this county, that will definitely be trying to work with them. It's a new one. I'm not gonna be real hard on them. So try to talk with them
I know the Japanese honeysuckle, you're gonna find that in some ornamental plantings around the county.
and as long as they're keeping it under control
Right.
and in there and it's not taking off and covering everything, I'm not gonna push their issue. I know it was an ornamental deal and it's gotten out of control in some areas. So.
Guess what I'd like to bring up, Joss, is I've had more than one concern about flat tires at the transfer station when the public goes in there. Road and Bridge had bought a couple larger magnets. I stopped by and asked Steve if that was still, it's the one that's still in the box, never been out. not to say micromanage what you do, if there's any way we can adapt that and run that property once a week with that magnet. I mean, it's in the back of my pickup. I drop it off if you want to grab it.
Okay.
He said, well, they didn't think they were going to use it, so if it would be something that would be useful down there.
Okay, we
Even
can,
for our own stuff to a point. It was real evident there when we were doing some of that, lot of roofing here 4 or 5 years ago. We pick up roofing shingle metal the easiest.
oh yeah, they shake out of the trailers and everything too, so.
Whether or not you could hang it on the front bucket or something and once a week sweep some of the main driveways or something, I think would be helpful to
Okay, we can.
that if that's all, not to say you need to do what I tell you.
It is, we can.
I've only gotten 2 flat tires out there, Mike.
Okay.
And I'm running 10 ply, and it's hard for me to get flat tire.
Well, I've been a voice just yesterday, there was one saying, well, it's
I've been lucky I
better that they
haven't
can
had one.
flat, they live in town, never off the blacktop until they went to
And I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. I said, they can pick it up down the road. If somebody's doing shingles or something too, I'm not gonna say.
Not this magnet that costs us absolutely nothing. I think you'd hang it on the front bucket or something where it's just off the ground and
Yeah, and we can.
police that a little bit if you would for us. And
We can-
see if that deters any of that, even maybe for our own vehicles and trucks.
We can try and.
See if it works at all.
Yeah.
It's worth our time.
Yeah, still short-handed one down there, so.
You got to where you just grab it out of the back of my pickup, it's right here.
It's right there. I can do that afterwards. Okay.
I don't know what it looks like inside the box.
Okay.
Steve said, well, here, just take it with you.
Okay. I can grab that when we're.
I appreciate it if you see if that works and if you can any of that, even for our own vehicles.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Thank you for that. That's everything.
Household waste.
No, we're just getting ready to start over on that season. I've got one of my our main bill that we pay through Big Lakes and stuff just come in and stuff.
That's for disposal of.
Yeah, disposal. It helps with our disposal. We get 40 or the 50-gallon drums from them, so we don't pay for we don't get charged every time we get them. It's all included in this package and everything, but we do pay for disposal of a lot of our other chemicals too. So this year, well, not this year. Last year, I think we seen a big increase in chemicals coming in that we've been disposing of, because we've had, I think, at least 2 more pickups than I normally do through the year.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
That means it's not getting dumped in the septic systems, it's not getting dumped in
Mm-hmm.
road ditches, it's not.
Messing with lift stations to the sewer plant.
We had our annual meeting for household hazardous waste in beginning of December. Their biggest concerns was lithium-ion batteries, what to do with them. I do take them at our HHW facility, and I do dispose of them properly. It doesn't cost the county any money or anything like that. I've got a working relationship with a place here in town that also has a company that comes in and picks batteries up. So we don't get paid for them. They don't get paid for them. We don't get charged for them. Neither do they. So I'm not.
Safe way for them to go
It's a
away.
safe way to get them recycled and to get them taken care of.
And they are nasty.
It's
Not
saving
wind
us
up in a
taxpayers.
Transfer station trailer and burn the thing down.
Yes, yes. So,
Yes. How are we disposing of our used oil?
our used oil, Road and Bridge, once in a while we'll get some. They use that for their oil burner, but I don't think it has been working for a couple of years. I don't know. They haven't used hardly any. But I have Green for Life. They come and pick it up. They and then they recycle it, and then they sell it to places for heating, the asphalts and stuff like that. So I get charged for pickup fee, but I don't get charged to dispose of it by the gallon. So.
Oh, there's a few There's a few oil earners in the county. I mean, if it's not that much of a pickup fee, then I splitting hairs, but yeah.
Anything else?
Well, we got 5 more minutes with you. No. Sounds like you got every chance you get, you cutting tires and doing stuff.
Yeah, we've been, of course, the weather's kind of slowed us up some. We've had quite a few, had some cities and some other people bring in quite a few, so we got to stack it back up again, but
It's good.
It look like chemical prices are still going up. Probably.
unfortunately, I think they are, but they're not gonna take a big hike. I haven't gotten to that. I try to wait till about February, March before I start ordering and stuff. So I know more then. Hopefully I know next week. I'm hoping our chemical reps are there so they can kind of let us know what's going to happen, what's happening at the beginning of the year for chemical sales. So that kind of helps determine how soon I try to order. Try to get the cheaper price for our community, so.
Have you gotten another trailer ordered yet?
For the transfer station, no, I haven't done anything for trailers. Yeah,
Plan to do that?
probably, but anything, I think I need to really look at another truck is what I really need to look at. Truck was in the shop several times towards the end of the year last year, and by the time said and done, was a pretty good bill, if I can remember right. I think we're between 15 and 20,000 on the bill, just multiple times in and out of the shop getting repairs done, so.
Anybody else got anything else for Josh?
You said he's a person down, you got any applicants on?
I've got,
Or interview scheduled? You know,
I just got another applicant. I had one applicant I did an interview on, and I haven't heard anything back from him. I called and offered him. So I'm gonna call this other one and do an interview with him.
and it's listed on our website again, that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's still on the.
Position open.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, thank you.
Here.
You too. Thanks.
Got the kids under control on break.
For the most part.
Okay, on the next thing, I guess we took care of that during regular administrative business.
That's the next thing.
I just realized though, on your land bank meeting, you did not appoint a vice chair for land bank. So when we do whatever special meeting, we might need to do that. So we just did the chairman.
You only have to show up 4 times.
Yeah, it's just 4 times.
Yeah, so
You nominated me, I'll get back at it.
anyway. We'll figure that out at the next meeting.
Okay. So it takes us into the 130 item is done, the 115 item is county administrator. I move that we recess into executive session to discuss the job performance of specific employees pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 1, for personal matters of non-elected personnel. The board and Tina for 15 minutes. 15 minutes until 1:30. With open session to resume back in commission chambers following the closed session. Second by Kent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This was your chair. Out of executive session, no decisions made. All right, so we don't have our 145. We took care of the 130. Commission comments.
question for Tina.
Okay.
It's a road and bridge question.
I'll jump in front of you.
What?
I said I'll jump in front of you and give her time to get back. So I know Clark picked this up. I know I've been, actually just pass that one down to Mike. Been trying to find a way to be part of the KNRC. I just wanted to bring back this handout from KAC. And I know everybody's kind of got, yeah, it'd be nice, or no, not at all, or I just want to plug that in there again.
Where their dues go to?
They're all self-funded, so our dues are $5,000 a year, I think. And they're completely county funded, it just goes to them.
I know Harvey County is a member of that, and in speaking with one of their commissioners over there, they're very happy with the assistance they have been able to give them.
If you're a member, does one of the commission get appointed to a council or anything that's part of them?
I don't know, as far as, I think you can be eligible to be on the board, but they do have pretty frequent invites. They've actually invited me to 2 or 3 meetings. We're not even a member, you know, so that's just the handout and the grace that they've shown me. They talk about a bunch of relevant topics. They actually have a wide vast of certain people from like Montana on public land use and all kinds of stuff that they've brought in that I've actually got to see. And these are all just grassroots people with experience coming together for a collective. So right now the big things are kind of out west, but you never know. Tomorrow it might be here. That's all I have. You can read through that.
I just put a plug in for them too. I think, you know, last year we had the topic of the 30-30 come up, and they're very big advocates for maintaining private property rights. There's just a host of environmental and land use issues that they take on that are all aimed at preserving the rural landscape. And so I think it would be a win-win for the county in the long run.
The one thing wasn't really even for, it was for rural, but it was it Aquavera or out there out west. The Snake River, they diverted that at some point, and then they said that was public water at that point, or it was controlled so that the landowners couldn't use it anymore. They're the ones that actually diverted it. They're the ones that stepped in and said, no, you guys caused this. It was never parked this way, and it needs to be maintained that the land users still get use out of it. So
Kansas Natural Resource Coalition is part of a national coalition?
National.
They came in and, I think that,
Snake River, that's out in Oregon.
No, there's one out west.
This is Snake Creek and
Oh, Snake Creek.
Okay.
I'm thinking,
Creek.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Idaho.
this is
I
all
was
tied.
taking in a lot of information all at once.
That's all tied to Quivira National Wildlife Refuge and what was done back in the early '60s, and there's been it's been a contentious issue for a long time that nobody's really wanted to step up and take on the federal government, and they're actually doing it, and they're actually making progress in protecting some of the water rights for those landowners around that refuge. So.
last year, I think you had, or was it just last year?
Yeah,
Sometime you had a representative in here talking about it.
I asked Tracy to come. I think we may have to.
I talked to her too, and she's more than willing to come back and speak to us again. I told her I didn't wanna waste her time unless I felt the commission would be receptive, because I don't wanna have her spend her time and come speak to us just to have it shot down again. So,
I don't know that she was actually, in my opinion, I didn't feel like she was shot down. It's just that we were already wrapped up in the budget and had no room to promise anymore.
right. But I think she's more than willing to come back and speak to us again, but, I know they've provided some information to Harvey County that will be beneficial. And I just feel that they would be a good resource as we move forward.
Okay.
Couple things. One for you, Tina, to pass on the road and bridge. Information. I noticed they're doing a lot of brush clearing this year because of the weather. I'm just curious whether they're treating that brush or not, and whether there's any disposal of that, be it piled up or whatever, because I mean, you see lots of it in the ditch right now. And, you know, if we're not treating it, probably in 2 years, we'd be cutting it again.
And now in 2 years, we'll be cutting twice as much.
Yeah.
I've gotten complaints or questions from the public in my area as well on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. It's just, it'd be nice if, you know,
We just need to know
somebody
that,
cut it and somebody treat it.
yeah,
I'll find out.
make sure we're doing it right so we don't have to go back. Especially the side, I know they're doing a lot of side cutting where they're not cutting the whole tree down, but if you treat that exposed stem, that'll keep it from suckering
The
out.
tree actually want to grow the other way.
Make the tree grow up instead of out, and I know I've gotten complaints that they're cutting stuff off, you know, a foot high. And if you've got a stub like this, a hedge post that big around sticking up a foot, once the grass grows up, you can't see it. And, I mean, if it's a stump like this, you can see it, but those little things can be a headache down the road.
Knock the blade out your mower.
Yeah.
And the other thing I had, you know, normally on payday meetings, we don't have public comment. And I've got nothing against public comment anytime. But I think it would be best if we knew there was gonna be public comment prior to the meeting. And if it's not listed on the agenda, that we don't have it.
Yeah, I should have called it in ordered it on.
I don't know if that is actually a policy or not. That something needs to we would need to vote on.
You do have a policy on public forums, so I'll double check what that says. It's been a while since you've reviewed it, so.
That's it. That's all I have.
I would comment on that as well if, in this particular instance, we foregoed the normal meeting when public comment would have been available. And so, to me, the payday meeting was actually a regular meeting with payday incorporated, because we didn't have a meeting on Monday, the 29th, which would have been.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
So,
I just noticed the public comment today was pretty chilled out. And it wouldn't have been if we would have not allowed it to come forward and let them voice it. But I didn't
I
even
mean,
think about
if we need to make a policy, I would say that if we have a payday meeting in lieu of a normal meeting, all the rules for a normal meeting agenda should apply. A payday meeting subsequent to a normal business meeting, we can make special exceptions for that and not allow public comment, but, we can hash that out as a commission. I mean, I'm not saying, but that would be my opinion. And if we need to address that policy, we need to address that policy.
Okay, yeah, well, we need to review the policy to be sure, and then we'll make adjustments however the board sees fit. Both good points, though.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Got a second? By the two nominees. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.